Oh yeah, all kinds of nasty. So let's take a closer look at the bus. It's a snug fit, but it does fit. I've pulled it out a little bit, so let's get the ugliest out of the way first. So this is a previous owner to the previous owner's attempt. It was a buddy of his attempt to do a Subaru conversion. So what he did was cut out the nose to put in a radiator, and that was for tubing and all that to then go underneath the bus all the way towards the back. You can see the scar here across the light bulb headlight bucket is because he put in this giant monstrosity that I have to cut out and repair. So I will do the best I can on that. Pretty sure the floor stops there. So I will have to fix that bit. There's some trash. Ugly. By the way, you notice it was easy to get to here because door. All right. Still fascinated by this. So that is a steering wheel. That is a steering shaft, but not a steering column that goes to the steering box. As I showed you guys before, it is not attached by more than about a half a bolt because it's not even snugged down. You can see in here some more of the shame that I have to fix. But I am up to that. I love bringing things back that somebody else has written off as worth carving up. Passenger seat. Not sure what those were for, but they will be removed. And the seat back is missing. Not the seat back, the wall behind the seat, which I will be able to get. The guy I bought this from, again, as I mentioned before, really cool dude. He's got the steering column, he's got the dash cluster, and he's got another bay bus that has this sheet metal that he's going to cut off, and I will weld back on, so that's good. Interior, lots of kitty litter. Not where you normally expect an oil leak, but the previous owner was using this to store transmissions, a burned up Type 4 engine, among other things. And so when he was pulling them out with his forklift, there was some oil spillage. So I'm just soaking it up. Solid though, solid, solid, solid. Really quite happy with the floor condition. I'm sure if I scrape in there, I'll find some holes here and there, and I will be looking, but not too bad. Steel bar there, and another one running along there under the left side window, down, across, and over. I think this is for a camper conversion because this thing did have a camper conversion. You see the seat back has some poorly welded in hinges as well. Those are going to go away. I will be fixing that sheet metal as well. So what are we thinking? Well, if you look down here, it was a Safari custom camper conversion, July 1974. So this thing was, it's a 74 bus. The first three digits of the VIN are 224. So it was a Type 22 model. transporter, not a panel van, and it was made in 74. So from what I understand, Safari would buy buses and then gut them, convert them into campers. This one was the base model travel lounge. I'll insert a PDF or an image. I'll insert an image here so you can see the 3 standard models put out by Safari Custom Campers. And this is the travel lounge that had the camper interior but no pop top or high top. In fact, this one has an interesting different variation, which is a moonroof. And it is gunked up. So if you look at the top, quite nasty. I will have to remove, repair, and go forward from there. But I'm confident that it can be kind of a neat deal. And I may choose instead to elongate the hole and put in an old split window square pop top. So it'd be sort of a hybrid of a Westfalia and a splitty camper. The idea there is I don't want to buy a full Westfalia. I don't want the full Westfalia look, but I do want an interior that's going to be a camper, basically for me and my wife. Double bed here, cabinets, maybe more cabinets here, and the pop top would be nice for me to occasionally, if we're in a place that it's raining, I could stand up. My wife says she's not worried about it because she's 4'11" and a half, but it will concern me. So, all that headliner's going away. It's just nasty, and will be replaced with some birch plywood. Again, really pretty clean. Outside, you see this sheet metal is missing. Not rotted in there though. Ugly, but not rotted. Quite solid, just needs to be cleaned up and rust proofed. I found on the Samba, the guy selling an old white one that'll basically match, which is awesome. And let's do a quick run through of the rain gutter. Pretty solid. Take you around to the worst spots. So a little bit of a dent there. Probably could use maybe some holes in that. Could use a little bit of a rust repair. Up in here, dented. You can see there, a bit rusted out. You know, I've seen worse. And this is the worst section right here. But again, I'm confident I can repair that, cut it out, replace it with some sheet metal, and move forward. A little bit underneath there. Oh wait, actually that's probably supposed to be open. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've owned a bus, not since my early 20s, so I'm a little bit new. This side section, a little beat up, but solid, just sun-baked and gone. All the rubber obviously needs to go away and get fixed or replaced. Let's see, driver's side front. Let's see how much I can show you this way. Oh yeah, all kinds of nasty. The main dash seems solid, but pitted to hell. But out along here, you got a fair amount of rot, some holes. I've ordered from the bus depot replacement trim to go along, and a couple of sections of the inner dash. I did not order a whole new dash. I'm doing this on a budget. So I'm gonna use the pieces they have. If I have to repair more than that, I will then splice in some basic raw sheet metal. Same for the front. Yes, I probably could and should buy a new nose because it would get me this section and all of that, but those are $700-800. Not interested in spending that. I can get 20 bucks worth of sheet metal, do a little bit of metal forming, and get that outer skin put in place. Because this is going to be a camper, I'm not having a spare tire in the back there. I'm going to need to mount it here. The VW Life guys, Gary sells stuff on the Samba, and he had a refurbished nose mount for the spare tires. So I am going to grab that, or I already have, and I'm going to mount that spare tire up front. So that will cover up any massive sins. Get this side right, get that side right. If the curve's not perfect, spare tire is going to hide some of that. Not bad. Let's see, what else? The door, I do need one, and a sliding door, and I have them. So there's the engine deck lid from the original. These are not original. You can see that they've been painted black in some horrible ways, but they are largely rust-free, just a little bit of surface rust, so I'm going to give them a scuff, try to paint them to match as best I can. I found some orange paint that matches this, so you see the chalkiness here, but you give it a little bit of a rub, and there's a nice orange under that. And I'm pretty pleased with that possibility. Same thing down here, so you see that. Start rubbing at it, that orange is going to come back. I am not going to repair surface rust. I'm going to repair holes. My goal is for this thing to keep the patina, including this awesome sticker. I'm going to try to duplicate that sticker on the side doors using eBay or Etsy to find somebody who can print it for me in somewhat faded matte colors, so I can have the sticker that's on the other side all the way on this side and kind of blend that together, because I just love that. It's so 70s. Side note, I found out the other day that my uncle, who's now, 75, used to own a bus exactly like this. I was joking around with him, and I said, I bet yours had seats and an engine and transmission. And he said, yeah, but no clutch. He drove across country with no clutch. So my thinking is with this bus, keep that original exterior, and then the interior is just going to be a really nice and clean camper set up for me and my wife to enjoy. Way back in the early 90s, before we got married, we went out camping at Joshua Tree National Park, among other places, in my 79, but my 79 just had normal bench seats, and we camped in a tent. We're old and we like mattresses, so mattress in here will be great. Sliding glass door does not come with this window, so I'm going to look to see what it would cost for me to put in one of the louvered jalousie, or whatever they're called, windows, camper style, so that when we're inside, it's raining, we can get some fresh air and through that and the pop top, and not get rained on. All right, let's see. What else can I show you? Walk you around to the back end. There's the orange I found. Satin Rust-Oleum. Oh. Bonds of plastic, wood, metal, and more. Okay, that'll work. Rustic orange. Well, if that doesn't describe this thing. Okay. Back end. It is snug. In order for the garage door to close, this has to be right here. But worst case scenario, I'll just keep kicking my wife's workbench out of the way. So, back in here. Oh. The usual rod along here. Also ordered that piece from the bus depot to do some rust repair. Pretty clean. Nasty, but clean. As soon as I get it running and driving, so it's going to be body repair, running and driving, then camper, in that order. Once it's rust repair, running and driving, then I'm going to be hosing the living hell out of it at a car wash. I did already pull out about 15 pounds worth of rodent crap. Down in here where the bus gas tank is was a nest, along with in there and back in there. But interestingly, the nest was largely large twigs, so I'm not sure what animal it was, but it wasn't mice with where you'd expect all the seat cushion fluff and all that kind of stuff, and it didn't smell bad at all, which was awesome. More repairs to do. That seat there, or that metal battery box area is missing. That battery box is missing. There is some wiring all throughout. I'm tossing all of it. I'm gonna get a brand new harness. Last time on my Bug, I rebuilt or rewired the whole thing, doing all that work myself. I am not gonna ask myself to do that again. That was unnecessary, shall we say. Not efficient use of my time. So anyway, weld something in there and put in some brackets to hold the battery in place. And then back in here. Also, part of it is missing here, from what I understand, but that's fine. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I can show you. Pretty solid. You see in here? Good, solid California bus for the most part. Might be missing a little bit there. I'm sure once I get into it, I'll find more. That's usually the case. But I'm excited about this. It's only held on with one hinge. I got bolts that I got to put in. I'm missing glass, I'm missing pieces, so I'm gonna have to find some local bus guys around here who's got some parts. But again, pretty clean. I say clean in the rust-free sense, not clean in the actually clean sense. Spider webs, so many spiders living in here, and they need to go away. Ugly, moldy, rotted, nasty. Well, I know it's gonna nickel and dime me to death, but rather than spending 10 to 15,000 on a bus that's already done, I'm hoping, my goal, and you guys can laugh if you want, my goal is to spend no more than about 6,000 to get this thing complete. I'm great at woodworking stuff. That's been a hobby of mine for decades, build guitars, furniture, that kind of thing. So the interior is gonna be a piece of cake. The engine and trans, I got a line on a guy who might be able to sell me both for $1,000 plus driving. So I'm hopeful that's gonna work out. I think it's a bus engine from 74, 75, so it's sort of matched to this and with the trans. I'm into it now with the sheet metal spare parts and paint and things like that. Maybe 1,500. Just so you guys know, it was $1,000 for the bus, and then 300 for the extra doors, both. And so now it's just finding hinge parts and the track pieces for here, for the bus to track, or bus door, sliding door to work, things like that. The guy I bought it from is willing to give me a bunch of parts that he's got on another bay that he's gutting. It's already been chopped up pretty bad, just because he wants to give me support. He's a Vanagon guy, but he's being pretty cool. Yuck. Not sure what's grosser, that bug or that dash. Love these dashes. All right. So that is my walkthrough. Oh, by the way, underneath, it's looking really good. I'm gonna build my own custom bumper for the rear, because I wanna have a little trailer hitch, possibly to take a little bit, one of those little one wheel or two wheel mini trailers with my wife. We're gonna do perhaps a safari rack on the rear, especially if we go pop top. If I do the pop top, my plan right now is to actually make my own pop top out of fiberglass and just buy some hinges. My wife and I can do the sewing to make that thing work. So that'll be kind of cool. And then maybe use some Jeep hood latches to hold it down. So I got some ideas. It's gonna look like this from the outside for the most part, a little bit cleaned up, but It's going to be sweet inside. It's going to be super reliable. And it's going to be something that my wife and I, as we move into our mid to late 50s and 60s, we can drive around California and enjoy. Look at that sticker. Sticker alone adds 4 horsepower. Very cool. All right. Well, you guys get the idea. I'm excited by it. I never thought I'd get back into the bus life because they just have been outpacing me. I bought mine for $2,000 in 1994. It was a basket case, hydraulic lifter problems, among other things, with that 2-liter engine, and I just couldn't get it to work. I wasn't even doing it. I was taking it to German mechanics. They couldn't get it to work effectively. I wanted pre-smog, which this one is in California, which is nice. And I sold it within a year for about $1,800. And pre-internet, pre-Samba, I couldn't do it. Just out of college, everybody thought I was a 33-year-old hippie because I'm bald as hell, even when I was in my early 20s. But I got a bus. I'm real happy about it. Now that the Beetle's done, I can drive that one, work on this one, and just keep going with my love of VWs. So, talk to you guys later. See ya.